Hi, my name's Bev Ferris and I'm the editor of the Business Travel magazine, and I'd like to welcome you to our latest Business Travel podcast and podcast. Today I am talking to two gentlemen who both work for Clarity, father and son, and this is part of our Kindred Spirits series, which is part of our Business Travel Ambassadors campaign. So hello to both of you, Darren and Jake.
Hi. You right, Bev?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. The sun's gone, but hey ho.
Where are you actually speaking to me from today?
Well, I'm in Stockport.
Where are you, Jake?
I'm in Manchester. Not in the office, but the girlfriend's house.
Okay.
Just outside.
Okay. So let's both first of all tell me what your positions are at Clarity. What do you do, Darren?
So I'm head of finance operations, but I've also got a dual role where I'm responsible for our data and analytics platform and service offering as well. Okay. And Jake?
Yeah, I'm a billing agent in finance, and ultimately my job is to invoice out clients for hotel stays that they have.
Okay, so let's start with Darren. Tell me just briefly how you got to where you are today.
Okay, right. I can waffle about this for hours, so I'll do the really abridged version. So I started in the travel industry in 1999 doing tech support. From there, got into software development, started building bits of the business systems, doing invoicing and commission claims, etc. Then did a lot more on the software development side, managed bill back invoicing for a while. And was responsible for software development for Expetel hotel reservations until we got acquired by Capita in 2012. Then I took the role of director of MI and data, and then moved from there over to Clarity in 2017 as head of MI and data. And then in July 2021 was asked if I'd take over finance operations. And so that's where I've got to here.
Brilliant, nice and brief. So Jake, how about you?
A lot more simple, really. So I came out of uni studying a film degree, of all things, and it was I think it was peak COVID time that I graduated. So there was a lot of the work had dried up. Yeah, there was no money coming in, anything like that. And then it was my dad that suggested, why don't I consider Clarity and start that. I'd always told myself, an office job wasn't for me, but sort of, getting there, getting a feel for it. It's a really vibrant place, and I've sort of found myself getting really involved, even like beyond the team itself and looking at, from a wider picture. And I think that, my dad helps with that. Yeah.
Okay, so just go back. You were doing a film degree, so did you?
Yeah.
That was your idea to get into that industry. So
Yeah.
So what were you planning? What were you thinking of doing? If take COVID out of the equation, and there might have been jobs there. What was your plan?
Well, the plan originally was to go into sound. So I'd worked on before COVID. I'd worked on quite a few documentaries for bands and stuff like that, doing sound design, sound recording, stuff like that for them. And obviously, because that's a very heavy location thing, COVID hits, can't go outside, so you don't have those opportunities come up.
Yeah. So be honest here. Do you think you'll maybe go back to that original plan, or do you think you're going to stay with not necessarily Clarity, but within the travel industry now?
Well, to be honest, I think initially when I first started, it was like, I'll keep it, in the back of my mind. It's something that I'm going to pursue on the side, and go that way. But now I'm getting more involved, with bigger projects and stuff like that within Clarity, and the whole business travel thing now, it just seems to, appeal to me a lot more than the film stuff does. Like sort of nicely transition.
Yeah. So what is it that you think that you've been surprised about that you're enjoying in business travel? I mean, obviously you've seen your dad go. You've seen your dad's career. Obviously, it wasn't anything that really appealed to you when you decided what to do for your degree. So what is it that you think you've been surprised about and that you're actually enjoying now?
I think it's a lot of the activities that I do at the moment. So a lot of like problem solving things, a lot of problem solving. And looking at just the idea of like travel in general. It's I like to travel. I want to go places. It just seems to sort of fit nicely together. I like the problem solving things, but then I also like traveling as well.
Yeah. And what about you, Dan? Obviously you've always been in travel, but you've been in a particular aspect of it. I mean, I'm kind of thinking your skills. You could have gone into other industries with your skills, presumably at any time. But what's kept you in the travel industry?
I think the constant challenge and ability to grow and deliver and bring in change. The weird thing was that for me, for about 3 years after starting at Expertel, I worked in IT. I didn't work in the travel industry. I was in the IT industry and, doing software and, and building computers or whatever. But then just it gets under your skin and you learn things. There's so much to learn, whether it's like, what goes on behind the scenes, when you're checking in at a hotel, or, the different ticket types on a train. And, we all in our industry all build up those little tips and hints. And, personally, I get a lot of satisfaction from sharing those tips with people that don't know and seeing them go, oh, I didn't know that, and oh, let's stand at this point on the platform because this is going to happen, and all that kind of stuff. And I think, you just reach a point where it just becomes natural, and you meet and lots of people in the industry, and you still bump into them, and you come across the same businesses, and it just ends up like one massive giant family.
Yeah. And so why didn't you manage to persuade? Would you have liked Jake to join? Was that something you would have encouraged had he shown any interest? Why was he first choice?
So and Jake will attest to this, right? I tried for many years to get Jake and his brother to sort of like follow me, and they both had the same opinion. No, not working in an office, going to go and do something else. It's not for me whatsoever. And I knew that Jake was more interested in going into the sound side of things. And I just happened to say, look, we've got positions. You need work. You need to get some cash in. Come and give it a go. And from that point, it was very much, you're on your own. So I'm not influencing anything. I'm not putting in a good word. I'm not going to be interviewing you. I'm not going to be, controlling the decisions and managing you or whatever. It's over to you.
And obviously, do you actually work together physically, or are you obviously both working? Are you Darren, or are you?
So I'm Jake's boss's boss.
Okay.
Boss. Yeah. So Jake's team leader reports into my head of billing, who reports into me. Yeah. So, but I guess those layers of separation means that we interact, but as I said just before, I don't make any decisions. I don't, sort of like go, Jake needs to be doing this. It's just purely down to managing. And that was an important thing to bring in, to have that complete separation. Jake's a member of the team rather than Jake's my son. Pander to him. That I don't believe in that.
Jake climbs up the ladder and ends up being possibly your boss one day, Darren. How might that feel?
That would be amazing.
So Darren, tell me about your day-to-day role now, and what you enjoy about it. Talk me through like a typical day for you in your.
So I'm really into efficiency and streamlining. I hate people having to do the same things over and over and go through the same pain. So I get a lot of reward from being able to look at processes and go, there's got to be a better way of doing that. And my brain fires off into different things. So what I really enjoy is, when a challenge comes up, or that we need a way of doing stuff. And I try my best to let the heads run their different departments. But if I see something that I think can be done in a better way, I can't stop myself from going, look, have a look at that. you could do this or eke those kind of things out. So my day can be anything. I come in the morning, go through my emails, look at the cash receipts into the team, have a look at if there's any billing bottlenecks, have a catch up with the heads, make sure there's no challenges or anything to deal with, and then I generally tend to focus in a particular area. So right, let's have a look at how our cash allocation's going. Have we got any challenges that we need to do in there? Is there anything that we need to sort out or improve in these different areas? And then I'll join my team calls with my data and analytics guys, and I'll have a conversation around our reporting platforms or some requests that have come in, and it kind of cycles around in those different areas.
Just go back to before you joined, you worked. Did you do any qualifications to get your first job in travel, or when you were at college or school, did you think you were going to work in the travel industry at that point?
So I did school, GCSEs. I left there. I went into engineering, so I was an apprentice engineer for a while. I got sacked for skipping college day release. I ended up doing a City and Guilds in electronics, and then I wound up at genuinely a plastic bag manufacturing company, and I was stood at the front of machines packing bags in boxes. Then I got into the repair and hands-on fixing of machines and building stuff and maintaining them. Then I got into the supervisory elements of it. And then I managed to blag my way into getting the position at Expertel doing building computers. So I'd always been involved and interested in computing and writing little programs and things. And then I just seemed to have a natural affinity for it. And so it just went through that. So I'm not university educated. I've not been to college and done a year's worth of courses or whatever. I just kind of, it was more aptitude, ability, and the drive to want to change things and not shying away from a problem and just owning stuff and delivering it. And hopefully, I've been able to instill some of that stuff in Jake.
Yeah, and Jake, obviously, you were wanting to do film. Is that because it was or sound, and is that because of the sort of glamorous side to it? Were you kind of, is that what attracted you, that kind of career, or?
Not particularly. I think it's always because I've been a huge fan of music. I really naturally a really creative person. I think that was I think it was college actually where I decided I want to do film. I started off wanting to do like acting and stuff like that in front of the camera. But I was at college studying film and drama at the same time, and I found myself leaning towards more film because there was a lot more technical things in there, and like my dad's a fan of computers and technology, so am I. And so looking at cameras, looking at different sound equipment, I think that's what appealed to me. Yeah, it's not particularly a glamorous lifestyle. Like in reality, lots of 12-hour days out in a field, and it's pouring down with rain.
I don't know. So what with your job now? How much of the time are you actually in the office, and how much of your time is home based?
Yeah, so I am currently a hybrid worker, which is a scheme that we put into place at the start of the year, tail end of last year, I think it was. So I do 2 days at home and then 3 days in the office.
And does that suit you?
Yeah, massively. You've got the sort of face-to-face communication, of being in the office, keeping up to date with your team and stuff like that. But then at home as well, it's a lot more convenient. You have your own space where you don't have any distractions, so you can just get down and focus on your work.
You said at the beginning you didn't really want an office job, but obviously now with the way things are going since the pandemic, it's giving you that flexibility. So do you think that's one of the reasons why you maybe have found the job a bit more enjoyable and doable than if you were in the office 5 days a week, 9 to 5, commuting?
Yeah, I mean, even when I started full time in the office, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, there was a lot because Clarity is such a vibrant company, there was a lot of energy there that sort of just fit with me. So it didn't, as much as it is an office job, it's not what I would consider to be like the stereotypical office job. So everyone's in cubicles and you can't say anything to anyone. I think that, that really appealed to me as well.
Okay. So just to finish off, if you both was sitting in front of a young, obviously Jake, you're young anyway, but a younger person who's just going through school and was thinking of a career, what would you say to them to persuade them to come into the world of business travel in any aspect of it? What would you say?
I think I'd say that it's a lot, there's a lot more below the surface, and that it's such a varied industry. You've got hotels, flights, trains, taxis, ferries, all that lot, and you've got so many different things within them. So you've got the finance side of things, you've got operations, booking things. It's a lot, it's a lot bigger and better than I think most young people would assume.
Yeah. What about you, Darren?
So I agree with Jake. I think it's travel. So there tends to be two views of travel. One is the corporate grey, men in suits, just sort of like sat on a train, all very grey, and everything wrapped around that being boring, and then you've got the nice, vibrant leisure side of people in the swimwear at the side of the pool with a tequila and whatever, and so that kind of that feel of it being either a rep or working in a travel agent booking someone's summer holiday or whatever. Just forget all of that, because it's not. It's a massive industry with loads of different routes, loads of different options. I turned 50 this year. I've been in the industry for 20 odd years, and it's never got dull. It's never got boring. There's always different avenues and things that I've been able to go into. And you're not kind of locked into a boring thing. There's just loads of opportunity, and it is it's so circular. You come across the same people, you build relationships, you bang into people at trade events or whatever, and people move between businesses. It's just it does have that kind of big family feel and familiarity to it.
Family. You mentioned that Jake's got a brother. I don't know if he's older or younger, but he's presumably not in travel.
No, he's not in travel. So I'll keep chipping away. I don't think Harry will follow us into it. I think he's on a different creative path, but similar to Jake in terms of links in with the film industry. Okay. But yeah, we'll keep trying.
Okay, we'll send him this. Might be able to persuade him. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about your careers and the business travel industry, and good luck to you both. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers, Bev.
Cheers.